7 jurors down, 11 to go. The first members of the jury have been selected in the felony trial of former President Donald Trump.
Jury selection resumes tomorrow morning, and since this is the first of Mr. Trump's felony cases to advance to the trial stage, there's a lot riding on this case and these jurors. Joining us this morning to give us more insight into the jury selection process and how long it can actually take is attorney Bernarda Villalona. So good morning, Bernarda. Thanks for being with us.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning.
So Monday kind of got to a rough start. I mean, let's look at where we stand right now. Almost half of the 96 potential jurors were dismissed right off the bat, and now 7 jurors were picked. We've got 5 more that are needed, but then there's the alternates. That seems like a long, daunting process. How long do you expect it to last?
No, I think jury selection is going to conclude either tomorrow, Thursday, or by Friday. And the reason I say that is that the judge in this case summons hundreds of jurors, potential jurors, to come into the building. And what they're doing and why it's actually being sped up is because the judge is allowing for these potential jurors to self-report, saying, is there any reason that you can't be fair and impartial? Raise your hand and you get a free pass and you get to go. That's how on the first day you got 50 people that automatically were able to just leave the courtroom, which normally does not happen. And you can spend hours asking them why they can't be fair and impartial. But just to be clear, it can be because of scheduling, because of the case itself, because they don't want to give up 6 weeks of their life, but also because of who the defendant is. So for whatever reason, they were actually allowed to go. So it should definitely end by Friday because we already have 7 jurors.
Yeah, can you talk about the task that they really have in picking a jury? This is not like a case we've ever seen before, right? There's a celebrity case that you pick jurors for, that's one thing. But this is the former president of the United States. It has never played out in a courtroom before. So talk about the unique challenges here and the special questionnaire the jurors had to look at as well that had very specific questions.
Exactly. So you got to think that these people, these regular citizens who live in New York County, they're coming in, and once they go into the room and they find out, wait, I'm being summoned to be a potential juror for the former president of the United States. Just the pressure of it in itself actually scares jurors because you got to also think that they know that he was the president. They know what happened on January 6th. They saw what happened on January 6th. And they saw that the power of his words. And do they want to have all that pressure on them? Do they want to put their lives in jeopardy? Do they want to always be looking over their shoulder to see is someone after me because I sat as a juror in this case? But precautions have been put into place. It's an anonymous jury. Their names are not being disclosed. They're not disclosing their address, their home address, or their business address to try to protect their identity and also for their safety.
Yeah, but because so much is riding on this trial, can you talk about jury consultants and what their role is right now and really nitpicking, even going through social media accounts?
Absolutely. So you have to think the jury process itself, it is the most important stage of any criminal trial because doing jury selection and the jury process, cases are won and lost during jury selection because you are trying to select the person that's ultimately going to make the decision. Are you for me? Will you find Donald Trump guilty? Are you against me? Will you find Donald Trump not guilty? So in terms of a jury consultant, I believe it's just Donald Trump who has a jury consultant. I was a prosecutor for 16 years. We never hired a jury consultant. And what Donald Trump's team is doing, whether it's a jury consultant or investigator, is because they have the names of these potential jurors, is that they're going on social media and try to see in their public accounts, what have they posted? What are their views? Because they're trying to get inside of their heads to see what are their true ideology. Where do they stand? Do they have hate against Donald Trump? Will they be able to be fair and impartial? But also trying to find, is there something in their social media where I can bring it to the judge and say, Judge, this person should be excused for cause, so that way they don't have to use their peremptory challenge. Because now each party is down to 4.
You had said anonymous earlier, so it's anonymous to the public, but not exactly to the lawyer, right?
Yes.
They were able to find them on social media. The questionnaire was 42 questions. It did not include party affiliation, right? The former president had said, look, I don't want to have this trial in New York because it is a heavily Democratic city. But party affiliation not coming into play here, but talk about that questionnaire.
But the questionnaire, you have 42 questions plus a whole bunch of subsections, sub-questions about it. So even though it doesn't directly say, are you enrolled with the Democratic Party? Are you enrolled with the Republican Party? You have questions as, have you ever received any emails? Are you enrolled in the newsletter for Donald Trump or one of his organizations or one of his campaign? Have you volunteered at one of his rallies or attended one of his campaign campaign rallies? Are you a part of any anti-Trump organization? Have you been to any of their type of meetings or organizations or any type
So
of
you can
events?
figure it out.
So you're going to figure it out anyway. But let's just be clear. Even if you did or didn't, it's not about, do you like Donald Trump as a president? Do you like him as a person? It's regardless of what you heard and what you saw, can you be fair and impartial and judge this case based on the evidence that's being presented in this courtroom? That's what it's about. So it's not about whether you like him, don't like him. Can you follow the law and make a decision, a determination based on what's presented in this courtroom?
Yeah, and clearly the attorneys for the future Trump trials will be looking very closely at this one. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.